Gigantic.
February 12th, 2024. Monday Night Raw is still going on, but this is Gigantic Pop with a quick hit. I'm Glenn Rubenstein, joined by Raj Giri. I think Matt Morgan's at the gym. He hasn't even watched this yet, but Cody Rhodes did that promo, joined by Seth Rollins. And as predicted on this very podcast, when I popped in Thursday after the press conference, Seth is saying he's going to be Cody's shield. Love that reference. He knows everything about Roman. If he's facing The Rock, he needs him. The Rock and Roman are showing up Friday on SmackDown. Raj, do you believe me now? Night one is going to be a main event tag team before night two.
Let's
Cody versus Roman.
Let's not get it twisted. You were saying the main event.
Hey, main event's main event. What, you know, and in fact, here's what I'm going to argue. I said this last night, Raj. You probably don't remember because, you know, you were partying a bit. But
it was
for the fans, the main event is night two. For WWE in the mainstream,
it is really
night one.
It is for sure,
which is great too, right? Because that means that night one they're going to try and get as many people to watch as possible to build interest and come back night two and see what this Cody kid can do.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
So I'm with you. That clearly seems to be the night one main event. The Rock and Roman Reigns. Oh my God! Like when you talk about Bloodline 2.0, it's like bigger than ever now, right?
Yeah,
with the Rock and Roman Reigns. I mean, it's you talk about what did Triple H and Stone Cold the 2-man power play, whatever they were called.
Oh yeah.
This is beyond that.
Oh my God, this is huge, right? This is huge. Yeah. Thank you everyone tuning in live. We know Raw's still going on, but we had to talk about this. Look, spoiler alert, like not much more is happening on Raw tonight. Like it's Elimination Chamber build up. We kind of know who's going to be in the match. Although I'm surprised Bronson Reed, like going back, like where he's from, and he can't even get on the Elimination Chamber. But that's a separate story.
That's
good for Bobby Lashley.
Yeah.
Zoe Stark and Liv were tearing it up, but I think based on what leaked, we kind of know where that's going. But no, man, like Cody's promo tonight, one in the chicken nugget line. Well, I like him. And I like how they're working in Pat McAfee's interviews. It's kind of funny because WWE in the past tried doing their own podcasts. They tried doing After the Bell. They tried even with Fox having the bump. But now with Pat McAfee, they have this third-party source that they can go on and essentially just advance storylines in interview format, which is pretty cool. And I like, they didn't show the best part though. I think The Rock made fun of Cody Crybabies even more. But I like that Cody's referencing that with where do we put the chicken nuggets? Like this was really, really good tonight. And the crowd is so behind him. And I think this helps Seth. Seth needs this win or just needs this level in Mania based on how Roman's been roasting him.
I think the one downfall, the one negative with this has been The Rock just shows how much bigger he is than like he overshadows Roman completely. And granted, we have time to change that dynamic, but him and Roman are there, and Rock just seems like this, and Roman's here, and then the rest of the guys are here. You know what I mean? Like it just feels like it exposes that the stars of today are not where the stars of yesteryear were. And again, this is week one. There's going to be time, but I actually feel like that's the one negative.
I wonder, based on how we talk about how WWE books things, right? Like we talked about, okay, maybe Cody and Seth lose night one. Cody just gets the crap kicked out of him. So that way, true underdog. I almost wonder if they do the turn, if The Rock and Roman lose and Roman beats the crap out of The Rock, not too much because they're still going to look strong. Then the bloodline comes out, beats up Cody, still gives that build, but that way we get The Rock and Roman at SummerSlam in a one-on-one. Like there's a lot they can do. I think they have to maximize the minutes of when they have Dwayne Johnson here to try and bring as many people, just not on his level because that's not going to happen, but as many wrestlers as possible to the stratosphere.
And I think The Rock being on the board, it's a different motivation than before. It's one thing, like he loved he loves wrestling, right? He's shown it. He has never had to come back. He has never had to do a special appearance. If anything, I'm sure his advisors told him that it was a bad idea. Like, wrestling is beneath you now and blah, blah, blah. But now, I think now he can do whatever he wants. And
yeah, it's going to be big. It's funny. Beer Money has a great point. I wish Cody explained why he originally gave Rock the match. I think we're going to get some of that. I think they're going to do a convoluted, he told me to step aside.
I was surprised tonight that he didn't really give that answer.
I don't think they've had a moment to sit down and think it out yet.
Probably not. Because I'm sure when Cody originally said, but not at WrestleMania, that plan that night was probably The Rock versus Roman Reigns.
Oh, absolutely.
Changed 2 days later.
And even watching that WrestleMania XL trailer again tonight, they got a shot of Roman and a shot of The Rock that do not match any of those other shots.
Yeah.
In that trailer. Like, this originally was shot with a different build. So it's cool, man. I mean, they're figuring this out on the fly. I think they're going to get with their way there.
It's chaos, but it's fun chaos. It's not like they're going worse and worse, right? Which a lot of times happens. But I feel
these
like
are good problems.
These are good problems. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's like Raj sits there and says, I got to figure out, I have all this money. Oh my God, I have a problem. What countries am I going to hide this in to avoid paying taxes? And people have to remind Raj, these are great problems to have.
NVIDIA or Costco,
J Miller 3389 $5 saying, I'm not sure how I feel about this tag match because either way someone takes a loss going into a title match, and there's also an injury risk. I mean, a tag match
isn't there an injury risk anytime you wrestle? I mean,
isn't there an injury risk anytime in life? I mean, Raj, think about how many weird household accidents or you slept on something wrong. Think about as we get older, all the strange, I used bolt cutters 18 months ago. I just now don't have soreness in my solar plexus anymore. Like you can mess stuff up all the time.
I seriously have never been injured until I turned 45, and then it's just happening all the time now.
Yeah,
diverticulitis and pulling hamstrings and all this shit.
So you don't see this when wrestlers are off air in WrestleMania season. They actually have these huge bubbles, those big bubble balls, and then when they need to go out, they have the bubble wrap suits that they dress themselves in just to try and keep themselves. It's a wrestling secret. We're exposing it. You thought Stunt Grannies was as deep as it got, but no, the bubble wrap suits in WrestleMania season are a big thing to protect wrestlers to make sure they don't get injured.
Absolutely.
But no, this is very exciting. I'm very excited for this. I thought this promo was great tonight.
Exciting stretch that we're in right now, and I think this has been the most exciting period for pro wrestling probably since when was the last time has it been this interesting?
There were a lot of rough years, man.
Yeah,
like when Ronda came to the WWE, when Ronda Rousey came to WWE, that was a very exciting time. When we knew women were going to have the main event at Mania, that was an exciting build. COVID and the lockdown definitely threw WWE some curveballs. I don't even remember Mania that year. It was a strange year. That was when Rhea and Charlotte, it was tough. But no, I think that WWE, they've gotten some of the momentum back. And by the way, this isn't to say there haven't been great matches. I mean, Sasha versus Bianca.
Great matches are a dime a dozen now.
Yeah. But they haven't. Although, man, the Boneyard match and that Firefly Funhouse match were pretty sweet during COVID. In fact, those were probably the best things to come out of it because it didn't rely on. Because it didn't rely on an audience.
In the AEW, they had the what was that match called? Where they went in the pool, did all that stuff.
Yeah. The y'all know what we're talking about in the arena. That was a very fun match.
Stampede? No.
Yeah, Stadium Stampede.
Stadium Stampede, yeah.
Yeah, that was a very fun match. And so I think that with this, okay, so the last time there was mainstream attention like this, I'm trying to think. Okay, so we had Trump versus Vince. That was a big Mania mainstream attention match.
Yeah.
We had, is Mickey Rourke out on the heels of the wrestler going to wrestle at WrestleMania? There was a lot of interest and intrigue in that.
Yeah. And he really thought that Chris Jericho was going to shoot on him. He turned down WrestleMania because he thought Chris Jericho was going to shoot on him.
That would have been an amazing match. But since then, and that was hard to believe, that was like 15 years ago. I'm trying to think of like Rock Cena, people are talking about like Stone Cold and Kevin Owens was big, but they didn't. And even like the Undertaker's last stretch of matches, that didn't quite break the zeitgeist of casuals coming back in droves the way The Rock will.
I feel like The Rock versus Roman Reigns, WWE fumbled this. Like,
oh, definitely.
If they had that in their back pocket, like if that was the original plan, and now they can't do it because they fumbled how they handled Cody, that's on them. But man, seeing The Rock being a heel for the next 2 months almost more than makes up for it. You know what I mean? Like The Rock is the most entertaining when he doesn't have to be that corporate nice guy. And
absolutely,
he's just different
amazing
level.
Heel. But let's be real. Let's just make sure we're giving full context on this. In the last month, there's been plenty of other stuff WWE hasn't handled that great, and I wonder. Yeah, I want when they write the book on what happened this year, I wonder if they hot-shotted that with The Rock. And no, not The Rock showing up on day one, but The Rock showing up on SmackDown. You don't think that was...
It has nothing to do with the Vince stuff.
But you don't think that they said, like, man, let's advance the storyline a week or two?
No. Okay. I guarantee you. This is from people in the company.
Okay.
This was a pivot. But yeah.
Got it. We still got to do our video about CM Punk conspiracy theories because a lot of people are convinced that he was set to win the Rumble and everything got screwed up. You know? It's crazy. Yeah. So here we are now, less than 60 days out. You think Cody...
the plan... by the way, was always for Cody Rhodes to win the Rumble. They didn't pivot on that either. Positive.
Okay. I'm just saying, you have 2 daughters. If you got one of them an iPad and accidentally gave it to the other one, and they're like, "Was this meant for my sister?" And you're like, "No, the plan was always to give it to you. This was always the plan."
Yeah, I mean, they're not that quick on their feet to where they could.
Call an audible quite of that magnitude. So Raj, with all this in mind, less than 60 days out, night 2, does Cody finish the story, or do they look at all this and say, man, we can ring this for another 6 months?
God, I hope so, because I don't want to hear the term finish the story ever again. It just makes me sick. But I think you have to, right? Like if you don't have Cody win on night 2, he ends up looking like a gigantic loser. It buries him. So he has to win. So yeah, absolutely. He has to win that night. I would have liked to have seen The Rock versus Roman Reigns again. I feel like these larger than life dream matches are few and far between. That's one of the few that's out there. That's one where you tell your friends, you're like, oh, The Rock, you know The Rock, and he's wrestling his cousin. And everyone, people will be like, oh, that's kind of interesting. I want to see him. I'm like, his cousin, think of Jason Momoa, but a better looking version of him. And
which is a great way to what are we in high school when you're trying to fix someone on a blind date? What do they look like? Well, Patrick Dempsey from Can't Buy Me Love? Kind of like him, but a little kind of like the beginning of Can't Buy Me Love before he became cool. Kind of like that. Like he's got cool potential.
Well, Katie, my friend Katie, the last week, that is exactly what I told her.
Yeah.
Jason Momoa, but a better looking version.
And I swear to God, I swear to God, this isn't tying into the meme, but I said this before. The woman that cut my hair, my hairdresser who did this, is excited about The Rock coming back to WWE.
Right,
yeah, she will watch WrestleMania for The Rock. So hairdressers, finger on the pulse, everybody. But what about this as an alternate scenario? The Rock costs Cody at WrestleMania, and then we get The Rock versus Cody at SummerSlam, Roman versus Seth at SummerSlam, Cody versus Roman at Survivor Series, and Cody wins it then.
I still think Rock versus Roman is the money match. That's the Hulk versus Andre.
Yeah.
I think if you pivot to Rock versus Cody, it's just not. It just doesn't have that same you know what I mean? Like that.
They're in it now. The Roman has more heat with Seth right now.
Yeah.
And The Rock has more heat with Cody. I mean, kind of weird, right? But that's what the mic time's being devoted to at the moment.
Right. And so to everyone in the chat room, who should beat who for this tag match? If it's Rock and Roman versus Seth and Cody, who should take that fall? I think it should be Cody, because I think Seth, it makes him look extra weak. It makes that title look weak. I don't think you should do that. I think you have Roman pin Cody, and then the next night, Cody gets his win.
Yeah. There's a lot they can do with him, man. It's a very, very exciting time. And thank you everyone for tuning in. Like we said, we want to do more of these quick reacts. It's not about showing up when the podcast ends. You've seen me and Raj do 1,000 recap podcasts where we go match by match, but with Gigantic Pop, we want to do it a little different and talk about the big news, the big story, the things that are popping you all, and we can hash it out and dissect it and be done before Raw's even over with these quick hits. But no, I appreciate everybody subscribing. And thank you everyone for tuning in over the weekend. Mike Martin, just so you know, we are going to donate the super chats. We're going to have some announcements soon about the charities. I think we've got a pretty good lead on Q1 where all the money so far is going, but I think for Q2 we'll, me, Matt, and Roger are going to talk, and then we'll open it up to everyone for their input.
Yeah, I think this quarter we're doing Terrain.
Which in light of recent events even highlights even more what an important resource that is for victims of sexual abuse. Yeah, and so we'll have an announcement soon with the amount that we're donating, based on all your super chats and all
everything we got.
Because you all are making this possible. But yeah, we definitely want to do stuff involving substance abuse, depression. I mean, there's no shortage of great charities out there, and we want to do our best to support them. Legit Heat Wrestling Show, $5. Speaking of which, saying I really enjoyed the Super Bowl review you guys did yesterday. Bring back NWO Raj as a part-timer. He's still got it.
That's the last time. I think that's the end of NWO Raj.
Yeah, NWO Raj is like Ric Flair. He's going to retire 8 times.
Yeah, that's it.
People are asking, what do you do with Cena at Mania? I don't think, is Cena doing anything at Mania?
By him losing all the time, it means so much less and less every time you use Cena. He should be winning. It was a waste for him to lose to Austin Theory. It was a waste for him to lose to Solo Sikoa, because those guys did not get elevated. So, Beer Money is saying Cena versus Orton. Why not? If Cena won those 2 matches, it would mean that much more, right?
Yeah. Yeah, he needs something. But then the problem is, if Cena comes back and gets a win.
Too generous.
Yeah, and he's in a no-win situation, because it's going to be, he's burying younger talent,
But he's too far on the other spectrum.
Did he beat Elias? He beat Elias, didn't he?
No, they never wrestled, right?
No, I thought he did. Cena came out as
Cena has not won a singles match in like 7 years.
Okay, so it's been a while.
Since like Bray Wyatt, basically.
Yeah. Figure it out, man. Okay, everybody, we want to keep this one short. We know Raw's still going on. Please support your regular after shows and whatnot. We just want to do something a little different. Please like, share, subscribe, click that bell notification, because as Raj keeps pointing out, you never know when we're going to go live. If we watch and something funny happens and I make a thumbnail, I'm texting Raj and Matt and I'm like, let's go right now. Let's do this.
It's like the pop-up stores, right? Like this is kind of like the podcast version of that. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, everybody. Have a great rest of your night. Enjoy the rest of Raw. We'll catch you back here next time on Gigantic Pop. Take care.